If you're seeing this video, then this video is for you. If you're somebody who is currently on a path or just going through the motions of life and you feel like checking out. So some of you may be healers, some of you may be writers, some of you may be athletes, some of you may be very creative. You could be a videographer or a photographer. You work with images. Maybe you're a makeup artist. Some of you are just very, very creative. So the cards that jumped out for you is you have the Seven of Transformation, and then you have the Ten of Water. Some of you are going through a transitional phase, but I kind of feel, since you see this figure in the middle of this light and this dark, that you are kind of stuck. You are stuck because you see yourself going into this void and you're like, I just came out of the light. Why the fuck am I going in the void? Why is everything starting to look dark? So some of you are getting caught up in the middle of this, and Spirit is saying that there is a need for you to dig deeper. There is a need for you to look at the parts of yourself that has been in control this entire time and you just didn't know. So that is why some of you may be going through the dark night of the soul, or some of you may be called to do some shadow work, address some emotions or some thought patterns that have been sabotaging your progress time and time again. So now let's look at the Ten of Water. There are these three women. There's three paths. Each of these women has an object in her hand. You have kind of like a mid-aged woman who has a knife in her hand. And then you have, I'm just going to assume that this is a younger woman. She has like this like rope in her hand. And so to me, you know, my mind kind of goes to dark places. It is a rope of strangulation. And then you have this other woman who, she appears to be older, wiser. She has white hair. She has a key in her hand, and some of you may need to get in touch with the goddess Hecate, because some of you are in a liminal space right now. While you're in this liminal space, it just feels like you have your thoughts and emotions that are just coming from every direction and is creating a lot of confusion. When you're going through a transitional phase in your life, you could feel very confused because nothing is going to be making sense at first. When you are going through the void, it just feels like you're floating aimlessly and there is no direction. But you don't know that you're actually on a path and you're headed in a particular direction. Your spirit team does, your ancestors do, your higher self can see that you are. But for you, it could just feel like you are just aimlessly floating around in this space. It could be overwhelming to deal with if you haven't dealt with that kind of energy. You could be at a crossroads right now, and this could be regarding your career. You could be a creative, and maybe you are working a 9-to-5 and you have this passion, you have this creative outlet that you want to take somewhere. Perhaps you've been taking steps in that direction for a while, but now you've reached this point where it's like, should I quit or should I stop putting all of my energy into my creative passion? These obligations are pulling me a whole lot more right now, but this is what I'm passionate about. This is actually what I want to do. And so for some of you, it could be important for you to reach out to Hecate. Hecate rules over the crossroads, rules over liminal spaces, and helps to protect those who are in those liminal spaces. And so you could be going through a transitional phase and everything could be feeling very confusing and just frustrating because the path right now doesn't really seem as clear. Let's say you took one of these paths and you reached one of these versions of yourself, took the path and you came across this version of yourself that has a knife. This version of you represents your shadow self, and your shadow self wants to sabotage you because this version of you has been existing this entire time and you've been unaware, just living your life. Meanwhile, this version of you has been suffering this entire time. So now you're in this liminal space and you've reached this version of yourself that's ready to go at you. But it's going to be very important that you sit with yourself and you talk to that version of yourself and see, why do you feel like that? See what comes up. Observe it, but don't get too caught up in the emotions, okay? Now, let's say you're somebody who has reached the version of you that has this rope. Now, when I look at this, I think of it as the version of you that is ready to suffocate you. It's ready to take you out because it's like, what are we doing for real? Like, what is actually going on? Like, life just ain't lifing right now. Like, so You could be on this part of your journey where you have met this version of yourself and it's overwhelming you with all of these thoughts of that. What is important here is that you don't get caught up in the noise. The thoughts are just thoughts. They are something to observe. They are not something to attach to. So again, like I said, something you could do is to sit with that version of you and see why it feels like that. There could be something in your life that you are missing and you didn't even realize, like, man, I've been living this boring life, working this job, having the same routine, doing the same thing every single day, and I don't feel alive. I don't feel like I'm living. So what is the point? What is the point of living? Maybe I just need to find something that is worth living for. And then there's some of you that have met this wise version of yourself. And as you can see, this is an elderly lady and she's holding a key. And when we think of elderly people, we think of wisdom. They have lived a life. They know how to navigate life. They know what not to do. They've made so many mistakes. They've overcome so many things. They've jumped over so many hurdles. And now they're at a point in their life where they can pass that wisdom on. Well, for you, this figure is you. This figure represents the inner wisdom that you already have within that requires you to have that openness to listen to and surrender to find the answers perhaps that you've been looking for this entire time. If you dig deep enough within yourself, you could be surprised by how much you already know about how to navigate your current life circumstances. And because this woman is holding a key, this inner wisdom is holding the key to the door that you are soon going to come across. You've came across the shadow version of you. You came across the version of you that wants to give up, and now you've come across this inner wisdom. And because you surrendered to this inner wisdom, now you understand your situation better. Now you understand how you ended up in this predicament that you are currently in. Now you understand where your life is headed. There is more clarity. So then once you finally have reached the point of the void where there is a door, you have a key. You have a key to unlock that door and to step into your new life. Okay, so now that you all know, you don't need to get caught up in the noise. Let's see if your spirit guides have any further advice to offer you. Okay, so a few cards jumped out. So y'all spirit guides got some things to say. The first card that jumped out is Gorilla. And it says, take your time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. What I'm getting from this is, if you know you are feeling down and you are feeling a little like you're reaching the point of no return as far as your thoughts, it is important to talk to your family members, get their perspective on your life, or just get their perspective and support at this time. Being around a supportive family can really help right now for those of you who may feel like you are alone. The next card that jumped out is Rattlesnake. Whoever spirit guides sent this specific message wants you to know that you are shedding your skin right now. It says the experiences that you are presently going through is an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. Oh my gosh. I've been getting this messaging in almost every single one of my readings that people are being initiated like crazy right now. And you are one of those people. And I also feel like this card is coming up because once again, you're going through this void. You're going through this period where it's like, you may feel like you're going crazy right now and you just don't know what's going on. And once you come out of the other side, you will have so much wisdom, so much knowledge of not only like what you went through, but the knowledge of every version of you and what they went through as well. So this is why it's important for you to not give up on this path. I know it may be hard. I know it may be confusing, but it is preparing you for something greater, a greater purpose in your life that will give you the things that you want, the fulfillment in life that you are looking for, but you are also going to be used as a vessel to help other people navigate it as well. The next card that came out is the Meerkat, and it says to get support from trusted group of like-minded friends. So some of you could have some really good friends around you. Maybe you consider these friends to be family. It's probably best to lean on them for support, emotional support right now. If you feel like they are your safe space and you can confide in them, it is definitely recommended that you do, because sometimes we just need to process what we are going through with another person. Sometimes we need to bounce the thoughts and ideas that are floating in our head out to someone else who can reflect back to us something maybe we didn't even think of. And I'm also getting that if you don't have a supportive group of friends around you, perhaps you need to find community. Find something that you like to do and find people who also like to do that thing. If you like to dance, take dance classes. If you like to make art or films, there is a community for that. Meet people, make friends. There's literally a community for everything. Your spirit team is telling you, like, if you don't have friends around you who you feel is a safe space, look at the things that you like to do, find the community that is already doing it, join that community, and that can become your safe space. And the last card that jumped out is Puel. I don't really know how to pronounce that, but it's an owl, y'all. And it says that your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now. Pay close attention to the signs and the omens from them. One of the omens could literally be the symbolism of an owl. So if you come across any owls, that could be your ancestral spirit guides trying to send you a message. This time could really be very confusing for a lot of you, and you are going to be getting the guidance and support you need to navigate this. Even if it's a random video that you come across on TikTok or YouTube, whatever social platform that you are doom scrolling on, guidance is being given any way it possibly can. Where you are right now, you are not meant to stay there forever. Pay close attention, specifically throughout the week, next month. Pay close attention to the signs and the symbols that you get. Pay close attention to the videos that come up that feel synchronistic. Pay very close attention to your dreams. They are going to be delivering messages, or you can even reach out to them when you're feeling confused. Literally just pray or meditate and ask for help. But yeah, you guys, this has been the channeled message for those of you who are going through the mess of it right now. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck on your journey.